Well, I'm going to say, guys, this is going to be the first little bit of what I feel like is bad news for Daredevil Born Again. Let's dive into a recent report that claims one of the absolute key elements of Hell's Kitchen is not going to be included in the upcoming Disney Plus series. Well, back in She-Hulk Attorney at Law, we finally got to know the new MCU version of Matt Murdock, aka the Man Without Fear. Now, he definitely seemed a little more powerful than the version we got on Netflix, and it's definitely going to be a new take when he comes back to life on Disney Plus. But one thing that was not revealed about Matt Murdock was what was going on back in New York with his law office. You do remember, in the original series, Nelson and Murdock was front and center the whole time, and at the end of the series, it actually became Nelson, Murdock, and Page. But it appears all of that might have gone to the wayside, or at least not be part of the MCU continuity. Now, once again, this isn't from Marvel Studios. It's another post from Can We Get Some Toast? So we want to take it with a grain of salt. If it's not from Kevin Feige, we can't absolutely call it true, but a lot of these accounts have been really nailing these rumors, and based on all the casting news, this one sounds like it's probably true. Now, what they are saying is that Nelson and Murdock, or Nelson and Murdock and Page, will not be part of this show, and that Matt Murdock and Kristen McDuffie will be working together at his new law firm called Murdock and Associates. This means Nelson and Murdock is no more, and as a staple of the comics, I have to say that is a bit of a bummer. Now, this doesn't mean Foggy Nelson won't be part of the show, because we do have multiple reports that Elton Henson is at least going to make an appearance in the revival, but it sounds like the two characters might have parted ways, or even be completely on the outs. That would make it a pretty interesting story if Foggy and Karen had continued their law firm somewhere else in New York, but it will help draw a definitive line between this version of Daredevil and the previous show. Consider the possibility that we've heard reports that Wilson Fisk was not snapped out of existence during the blip, and that possibly Matt Murdock was. A New York City without Matt Murdock would allow Wilson Fisk to recover and regroup, regaining his power and taking over aspects of the criminal underworld, and at the same time, Foggy Nelson would have had to move on with his life, start new businesses, maybe even leave New York City. And I think these are going to be the aspects of the show that'll be explained once we finally dive into the series. I don't think Foggy or Karen are completely written out of the show. I think the blip will explain all of this, and people probably, although disappointed there's no Nelson and Murdock, should probably retain a little bit of hope that it will return in the future. We'll have to see how it all works out.